Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to the Al-Emaan Centre community phone-in chat show, call it whatever you like. This is the slot that was reserved for Speaker's Corner, but we're all out of Speaker's Corners now, so with Eid looming tomorrow, inshallah, we wanted to invite the community to post their questions, put their hand up, dial in, ring in, say whatever you like. We really would like to get your feedback, whether it be constructive criticism, whether it just be to say salam, whether it be to message someone else. Please just put your hand up and give us a shout. So we've got some structure to the session, but whether that actually comes to fruition, I don't know. We're hoping to hear from Brother Bezat to give us an update on our donation appeal funds, and we hope to hear from Imam Abdullah later on to clarify any questions or confusion with Eid Salat tomorrow. And I'm hoping we have, well, I'll call it a surprise guest later on, and see if they can join. So where are we now? Brother Khalik, are you there?
I am, sorry, trying to unmute my line. Apologies. Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, Amr? Are you okay?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Who else do we have on the line? Let's have a look. So, let's see. Brother Bezat is joined. So, we've got a reasonable amount of people there. So, Bezat, can you unmute and join us?
Yeah, let me give him access to. 1 second. Allow to talk. There you go. Bez, can you unmute your line now?
Yes, salam alaikum, guys.
Salam, Bez.
How
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. A bit fresher today. I'd caught a bit of a lie-in, so I got up about 5 minutes before Sheikh's recitation at 2, which is borderline disgraceful, but anyway.
I think that's fantastic, mashallah. It means that, you know, I know you're praying all night for me, so that's the most important thing.
I was. And everyone else. But, we wanted to hear really from the donation side. So if you could, inshallah, sort of update us on the figures, and feel free to say hi, Mum, as well.
Thank you, thanks for that. So I guess from a fundraising point of view, so obviously there's a team of people working behind the scenes in terms of the fundraising. And before the start of Ramadan, we all caught up, and obviously given the current challenging environment with coronavirus and the mosques being closed, we had to think of alternative ways to help fundraise for the mosque. So obviously, when we're in the mosque, you've got various different avenues. So you've got your cash collections, especially when you've got Tarawih prayers every night, and you've got Jum'ahs continuing throughout Ramadan. So you've got the cash collections. We've also got the contactless donations, which we implemented last year, which has been a huge success. So basically, those two things we were going to lose out on. And so we had a meeting, we talked about it, and we thought, okay, what can we do to help give options to our donors to contribute to the mosque. And what we came up with was the text donation service. So that was one option. And then the other one was the Jummah Connect platform. And Jummah Connect's a fairly new platform. So there's a brother called Adil who basically launched it about a month before sort of coronavirus kicked off, and his intention was basically to help masjids raise money on a continuous basis through regular giving, so either through weekly donations or through monthly donations.
And I hear Bazat, that we were quite popular with Jummah Connect on the fundraiser.
Yeah, that's right, we were. So as I said, it's a fairly new platform, and we were sort of one of the first mosques to join. And the idea that we had actually was to have this feature where our congregation can donate on a daily basis throughout Ramadan. So I guess the intention was, so you'd basically never miss Laylatul Qadr, because effectively you'd be donating every single day. So you'd get benefit every single day by donating. It was basically a win-win situation for the donors and obviously for the mosque as well. And it's actually, like you said, it's been absolutely fantastic. It's worked out really well for us. So we've managed to raise quite a bit of money through Jummah Connect. I think on the online, I don't know whether you can open up the website maybe. Khadif, is that possible? Can we have a look at the platform itself?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. Let me switch over.
So while Khalik opens up the website, Beza, are you going to be able to give us any raw figures? Because I'm sure that's what everyone's really interested in.
Yes, of course. So in terms of the raw figures, as I said, we've got the various different platforms. So we've got the bank account, we've got Jummah Connect. We've received quite a few donations through PayPal, and then we've got the text donations as well. So our target at the start of Ramadan was to raise £50,000 for the mosque to help pay off the Qard Hasana. And to be honest, I think that was a stretch target. So, I think especially given the current environment, I was sort of never expecting to be able to reach that target. But obviously, it's better to have a stretch target where, you're sort of helping, the donors to aim for something big. So
not quite as big a stretch as the 500,000, which I initially suggested.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, mashallah, it is possible, and by the will of Allah, it is possible. I mean, we had the 50,000 on the Ramadan challenge, and then obviously everything else would have been accumulated to add to that. And yeah, we did set higher targets, but we have known of other local mosques and other international mosques who've done that's kind of targets in one day. So, it's based on the will of Allah, right? So, alhamdulillah, we should be really thankful that what we gained is a fantastic amount, mashallah. And I think if we have that accumulated amount, then maybe we have a little bit of a run rate that we can try to achieve today and tonight, if possible. Always being the optimist again, based on the last speaker's corners. I'm an optimist anyway, but I love the way he articulated it.
Yeah, Brother Vikas, mashallah, he was really, really well spoken, mashallah. So yeah, as you said, so let's come to the actual figures itself. So as you can see on screen, through Jummah Connect, we're up to just over £15,000, approaching £16,000 in total. Now, if we take into account the donations through the bank account, through PayPal, and through the text, in total, drum roll please, Amir. We are up to 38,000 in total.
There you go. Sorry.
Yeah. So,
mashallah. That's Allahu Akbar. That's a fantastic total, mashallah.
Yeah, a huge thank you to everyone in the community who has made generous donations throughout the course of Ramadan. That's a fantastic achievement. £38,000. I think we should if we take into account the donations through yesterday and today, we should easily surpass £40,000. So, and as I said, it's not too late. You can always. Today's the last day. We're approaching now the final hours of the month of Ramadan, so it's not too late to donate. So please donate generously.
Yeah, inshallah, I agree. Sorry, Amr.
Brother Beza, thank you so much for that quick update. We've actually got Imam Abdullah has joined. Beza, can we come back to you?
Yes.
I didn't want to.
I did have a couple of other things I wanted to mention, but yeah, we can come back to me if that's all right.
Sure. Imam Abdullah, are you able to unmute yourself?
As Imam Abdullah come on as, I think, is it? Do I have to Abdullah Hassan is yeah, okay, I have to allow him to talk. Should I promote him to a panelist so he can Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, can you hear me? Yes, alhamdulillah, we can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum, can you hear me?
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh, how are you today?
He's just gone out.
Can you hear me?
We can now, yes, mashallah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah. How are you, brothers? You okay?
Alhamdulillah, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you
So,
so much. Thank you so much for joining, Sheikh. I don't know. Basically, we've set up this meeting as a sort of community feedback session. We've just heard from brother Bezat, who's given us a quick update on the sort of charity donation appeal, which has gone pretty well. I wanted to invite you on this evening to just clarify any confusion there might be with Eid Salat tomorrow. As I sort of texted you earlier, I had circulated your excellent BBSI document, but there still seems to be one or two questions. So could I just ask you to clarify the situation from your perspective in terms of how Eid Salat should be prayed tomorrow?
okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Jazakallah for inviting me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you.
Sheikh, would you like to put your video on, or are you going to be talking on audio?
Audio, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. I was just going to spotlight if you want. That's fine. Sorry to interrupt.
Jazakallah khair. Yeah, Jazakallah khair for inviting me, and then also may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless everyone for doing amazing work, working for the house of Allah, especially during these challenging times, is extra rewarding. So I'm sure all of you guys, I know that all of you guys have done a lot of activities online. The fundraisers, alhamdulillah, it's not easy to fundraise, alhamdulillah. You raise a good amount, so we should be applauded, and you should be proud of, alhamdulillah. In terms of the Eid prayer, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it's we know that there are those of you who were with yesterday in the Jum'ah reminder, I talked about it briefly, that there are differences of opinion among the scholars in regarding the obligation or not, who should perform the Eid prayer, who is exempted from the Eid prayer. There are slight differences of opinion among the madhahib. Generally, everyone, even women, are encouraged to attend the khutbah, the Eid khutbah. At least if they're not able to pray, they're encouraged to come to the mosque and or at least listen to the Eid khutbah. Obviously, during the lockdown, number of activities, or most of the activities at mosque, has been taken online. We talked about Jum'ah prayer, can that be done online or not? And we said there are obviously some scholars who opine that view, but the vast majority opinion that Jum'ah is done in a mosque, in where there's large congregation, you can't do it online. Similarly, that ruling is also the case with Eid prayer. Now, Eid prayer, it's a communal obligation, at least it's a communal obligation that in each community there should be some people who do Eid prayer. In the Hanafi is wajib. Obviously now we can't do Eid prayer in the mosque, but this is a legitimate excuse. This is an excuse that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. So we're not able to go to the mosque and have at least 10 people or 40 people in the congregation. So according to a large group of scholars, Eid prayer is not obligatory now on people. Why? Because the conditions will not be met because of the pandemic, because of the closure of the mosque, because of the government legal guidelines. This is the opinion of, and instead those people, they can offer 2 rakats or 4 rakats, not instead of Eid prayer, but just offer. That was the action of one of the companions, Abdullah bin Mas'ud. He narrated this. So this is opinion of a large group of scholars among the madhahib. Other scholars, that the Shafis and the Maliki schools, they say that if a person, for instance, were to miss their Eid prayer, normal times, right, and has an excuse, then they say that then Eid Salah can be performed at home. Yeah, then Eid Salah can be performed at home. So if you're Shafi and you follow the Shafi madhab, then as long as you have the right numbers, then you can perform the Eid Salah at home. But if you are a Hanafi, for example, and you've been following the Hanafi madhab all your life, and suddenly you can't change. Yeah, suddenly you can't say I'm going to pick and choose. You have to stick to that. And the point to bear in mind, I mentioned this yesterday. Point to bear in mind is that we're not losing out. If people do not pray Eid, we're not losing out, because there is a Sharia dispensation given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the situation. We're not able to pray, and we will be rewarded by complying with what Allah says, and we're complying what medicine, what science, and what the government is saying, because we're protecting the people by not going outside, right? So the dispute is, can we pray at home or not? And I mentioned that according to some scholars, the madhab Shafi, you are allowed. According to the Hanafi madhab, even some contemporary Hanafi scholars, they say that within the madhab you can pray, but that's a novel opinion. That's an opinion that does not exist in the classical sources. Now, my personal view is that if someone were to pray, it will not be invalid, right? It will not be invalid, because if it meets the condition of in other madhab, but it's not something that the Hanafi madhab optimally advocates. But again, Islam is not based on the Hanafi madhab or the Shafi madhab or the Maliki madhab. Whatever madhab you follow is fine. Sometimes we need to be flexible. Sometimes we need to accommodate, right? But in this situation, because it becomes ibadah, right? Then we can't one day choose one madhab, another day choose another opinion. Islam doesn't work like that. Our deen and ibadah does not work like that. So, though there are very flexible opinions within that. The final point, the main point I want to make is that we're not losing out, brothers and sisters. I know, there are people who want to pray, and I've not prayed inside the mosque for the last 2 months. I've been leading Jum'ah for God knows for 10-15 years, and I've hardly missed any leading. I mean, maybe in the last 15 years, maybe once or twice, but I've been leading, alhamdulillah, right? So it is difficult, but we are here to submit. We are here to submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And while we submit to the will of Allah, we'll get the rewards from it. And that's a different pleasure, that's a different taste, leather or taste that we will get, inshallah, when we do that. So as I mentioned, that we still continue with the other festivities, if you like, but within the confines of our houses, within our own immediate family members that we're living with. Yes, adorn yourself, wear nice clothes, have a shower, have a bath, cook nice food for your own family, do activities, give out presents to them, have Skype or FaceTime calls with your friends and other people. Yes, it's difficult, but we should still maintain some semblance of the spirit of Eid, inshallah. So I'll end it here, inshallah. I don't want to take too much time. I don't know if there are any questions, or if brothers and sisters need any more clarification, then inshallah I'm here to.
So Sheikh, my question was that if you were to be praying Eid Salat at AEC, would we not be following your madhab?
Yes.
And what would that be?
I mean, normally, the last two years that I've been leading Eid prayer, I've been doing it in the Hanafi way.
So just to clarify, that's the number of Ramadan or takbirs that you will give, right? With the 5 and the 4, or are you talking about the?
I beg your pardon. Are we talking about the exact form of praying Eid?
No, I think what Amr was asking is that when you led it in the Al-Emaan Center, were you following the Hanafi way of performing the Eid prayer?
Hanafi way, yeah.
Yes. So with the lesser number of takbirs.
Yeah. So altogether, apart from the takbiratul ihram, yeah, there are 6 takbirat. There are 6 takbirs. Yeah. After I say Allahu Akbar, yeah. I say I recite Surah Fatiha, and I recite another surah, I do. And the first rakah, before going to ruku, 3 takbirs.
And then the fourth one is when you go into ruku.
Yeah. And the second rakah, I do 3. And the fourth one is when you, and that one, when you go to ruku. So 6 additional takbirs. The other takbiras are normal, you have to do anyway. Like when you go to the ruku, when you go to sujood, yeah. These are additional, these are like mainstay takbirs or takbirs that you have to do. But in each salah, there's 6, according to the Hanafi madhab, there's 6 additional takbirs.
Yeah, and I think in the others there's more. So I think it just depends on which one you follow. So my question was actually, so where you were talking about the fact that the Hanafi school of thought just required to read 2 or 4 nawafil. So the hadith by Anas ibn Malik where he prayed at home with his family, is that not something that is sahih within Bukhari or Muslim? I was under the impression it was.
Yeah, although there's some kind of although some hadiths can be sahih, it doesn't mean that all madhabs, all scholars implement that hadith. So some hadith could be like specifically for a companion, yeah, specifically for a group of people. It doesn't mean that everyone should pray.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
There's a question from the
I mean, the Hanafis, for
two
example,
actually, yeah, there's 2 questions actually. Sorry, go ahead.
Hanafis, for example, you know, the Prophet ﷺ, he could have, for example, allowed women to pray Eid, but he said no, women should come out on Eid. So why? So when it comes to this is an authentic hadith also. When it comes to hadith and the fifth, how do we reconcile between one set of hadith that suggest one thing, and another set of hadith suggest completely contradictory things? So they say they do jama, or they reconcile between the hadith. Yeah. So for as generally, so here you have for example, the Prophet fervently encouraged women to go to the mosque, right? Even those women who are not praying, he said they should go somehow, because of the Eid is prayed outside the mosque in a big open area generally, right? He said women should go and pray, listen to the khutbah. So the Hanafis say, you know, if it were the case that Salatul Eid is allowed in the house, then why didn't he, you know, say to the women pray in your house? Yeah. So the other hadith, which suggests that, you know, some companion prayed, is khas. Yeah, it's specific to that companion. Yeah. Or probably, you know, as the Shafi'is say, they probably missed it or something like that, right? So again, the different opinion among the scholars on that. Sorry.
So there's a question that just to clarify again. So are you saying that we don't pray Eid Salah at home with our families if we follow Imam Hanafi?
Ideally, yes.
Hanifa.
Ideally, yes, you're right. But if you pray, if you follow the Hanafi madhab, then ideally you don't pray Salatul Eid with your family. Instead of that, you can offer independently 2 rakats or 4 rakats.
Yeah, that's my understanding. That's my understanding. Yeah, Jazakallah khair. I think that's pretty clear. So Jazakallah khair, Imam, for joining, and hopefully, inshallah, we'll be joining up with you tomorrow again.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, and may Allah bless you, inshallah, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. So hopefully that's a bit clearer for everyone. We now have, I think, Sister Harriet is on the line. Khalid, can you unmute Sister Harriet?
Yeah, sure. If you can just ask her to raise her hand, I can.
Yeah, we've got a hand there.
Lovely. Okay, fantastic. You should be able to unmute yourself now.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum, Harriet. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm good. How is everyone?
Alhamdulillah.
Very good. How have you been?
I've been all right. I've had my first Ramadan. My first experience.
Congratulations.
Mashallah, congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
we've got quite a few people in on the line. Would love to hear your experience. So take it from the top.
Well, it's been the first time. Last Ramadan, I fasted for 1 day as encouraged by my friends and work. So it was quite a jump going from 1 day to the whole month this year. I quite enjoyed it. It was a good experience. And I say every single day, I am so grateful for the water at the end of the day, every single day.
Mashallah.
It's, it was, even after only a couple of days, it really opened my eyes to how lucky we are that we can just walk into the kitchen and get water or get food, and we have it all available. And it's not something before I tried Ramadan that I ever really thought about.
Amazing, Harriet. And were you getting up for the sahur?
Yes, that was actually quite a hard bit of this month, was trying to work out how to get enough sleep. I tried staying up at first, and then I was just too tired and I couldn't do it. And then I tried going to sleep in between and then waking up for about 3 a.m. and then napping during the day. And I think that was actually quite a challenging part, trying to work out how to get enough sleep.
I think that's the thing for everybody, I guess.
I'm assuming you're not working at the moment.
No, I am working, but I'm working from home. So luckily I could just, disappear for half an hour and have a quick nap. But I am working from home. So that was, I'm also glad that my first Ramadan experience, I was working at home, because I thought how hard it must be if you're doing Ramadan and then you're commuting and you've got the long days at the office and you've got everything together. So I think I was quite lucky almost to have
Alhamdulillah.
in lockdown.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. That's fantastic. I think I agree with you. I mean, I think it has made it quite a lot more easier for those of us who struggle to get up and go to work in the morning. So that makes it much easier. But I think you're right about the sleep pattern. It is a difficult one to have to come to terms with. I mean, I still struggle even now, but I do agree that the nap in the middle of the day, which is kind of like a sunnah as well, I guess, which in fact the Prophet used to sleep in the afternoon.
So Harriet, just while you're there, can you just give us a little bit of your backstory, if you could?
Yeah, so my backstory is really quite condensed in that even before becoming Muslim, I never used to drink alcohol. So at events at uni, at work and everything, I would always gravitate towards people who weren't drinking, because as you probably may have experienced, it's never fun being the only non-drinker in a big group of drunk people. So I made friends with people who weren't drinking, and quite often they turned out to be Muslims as well. And just expanding my friendship group in that way, I got to see what such lovely people most of them were most of the time, and then speaking to them about it, it pretty much always turned out that their character and the way they acted and how lovely and kind they were came from their belief and their faith. And that encouraged me to start taking a proper look at Islam rather than just what I'd heard or what people said. And I did a lot of research on it actually for quite a long period of time. And then I went to a few courses at the Regent's Park Mosque in London, because they do this Introduction to Islam course, very, very basic stuff. And that just gave me a good foundation to start asking questions and start meeting other people and learning more about it. And then in February this year, I just decided, right, that's it. And I went to the Regent's Park Mosque and took my Shahada. And here we are.
Mashallah, that's beautiful. What was the turning point actually? What was the point which you kind of felt absolutely, I'm ready to do this?
I'm not really sure there was actually just one point. It was more just an accumulation of things. And I always thought, oh, am I ready? I'm not sure. And then one day I woke up and I thought, right, I'm ready. This is it. And I sent my email to the mosque and went in to take my Shahada.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. That's amazing.
And you helped with the distribution of the hand sanitizers, Harriet. So thank you so much for that.
That was really good, actually.
seemed like a long time ago now, but yeah, no, that was really well received. We've had lots of feedback from the Keston neighbours, being really grateful for the gesture. We even had a card and a message from a resident who'd previously put in a complaint about parking, etc. So I think we've won some hearts and minds around the Keston neighbourhood. So thank you so much for helping with that. And so thank you so much for letting us hear your story. Have you been, incidentally, have you been on any of the talks or listened into any of the speakers' corners, I should say?
Yes, I have. I actually listened to the one the other day about the Arabic language. I found that was a really interesting talk, actually.
It actually was, yeah. I have to agree with you on that one.
I really enjoyed that. And then because one of my friends recently taught me just how to read the individual letters of the Arabic alphabet, but from that I was like, I have no idea where to go now. But listening to that talk, it was really interesting, and I liked that it wasn't just solely focused on how to learn a language. It was almost more holistic, how to take on a project. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I think there was a question that came from the participants saying, you know, that she'd heard that there were 40 ways to say lion, and he said, no, actually there were 50. So, yeah, I mean, I think suffice to say that Arabic is an incredibly complex, deep textual language, and with nuances. So, a lot to learn, certainly for me.
Yeah.
And I think Awais has got a question as well. He's asking, what was your general iftar?
It varied quite a lot. At the start of the month, it was honestly pretty much as much food as I could just make myself eat because I was really hungry. And then I learned that probably more salty or fatty foods weren't doing the best for me. So I tried to keep it more just what normal dinners would be. I did actually really enjoy making a lasagna one day, and I had that for quite a few nights. That carried me through. I enjoyed that.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I mean, I think, you know, it is what works best for you. It takes a long time to kind of, I guess, work it out. And, you know, sometimes one year it would be something that I'd enjoyed doing, which worked for me, and then the following year it didn't really work. So, but generally, I think the nutritional stuff really works well, and the dates are a great source of energy, I think.
Definitely. Although one morning I did make a big mistake for suhoor and just had a bowl of Rice Krispies, and that was not a very fun day to get through because I was so hungry.
Yeah. That's it.
I love Rice Krispies, but it's not quite substantial enough, is it?
No, I learned my lesson there.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've got a live question for you, I think, coming in. I think Sabina Rashid's got her hand up. I'm not sure. Should I allow her to talk?
Absolutely. Click you're on the buttons.
Yeah, Sabina, please go ahead and unmute your line. Awais is saying to try Cheerios, and Asma Siddiqui is saying that she'd love to get your number and to keep in touch with you.
Definitely. I've got Mariha's number, so you can ask Mariha.
Sabina, we can't hear you very well.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry.
Walaikum salam.
My 3-year-old has been shouting at the phone because she wants to say Assalamu alaikum to Harriet. So is that okay?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
What are you doing?
I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat for iftar tonight. That's what I'm doing.
I think we all are.
What are you doing?
I'm watching TV.
That sounds great.
Excellent.
She's watching Ikra cartoons. They do some really good cartoons about prophet stories and things. Thank you for coming on, Harriet. Really lovely to hear your story and to hear how you came to Islam.
Thank you.
Jazakallah, Sabina. That's really kind of you. Thank you. I'm going to mute you now. And I'm just seeing if there's anyone else who's got their hand up.
So Harriet, as Sister Asma was saying, do keep in touch if you need anything from any of us, whether it be advice or direction or books or just a chat. Then feel free to reach out. You have my number already, and we'll pass on your number to Sister Asma via Mariha. So hopefully you'll stay connected. And hopefully, inshallah, at some point soon, when the masjid is open, you'll be able to see in its full glory.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, Russell's actually got a question for you before you head off. He's asking, how have your peers taken to your fasting? And well, I might add to that question. I mean, how has it been just generally with your family? Are they also Muslim, or are you one of the only in your family?
So in my family, it's just me, but I've been very lucky that my mum has been so interested in this whole journey, and she's been very supportive. And a couple of days she said, I'm going to try doing Ramadan with you. And so she was still drinking water and coffee throughout the day, but I was really proud of her for doing it with me. And my friends are not surprised, because even back when they first met me and I didn't drink, they always made jokes about maybe I was secretly a Muslim. So now that I'm actually a Muslim, no one's surprised.
Alhamdulillah. Their prayers were accepted, mashallah.
Yeah, no one's surprised.
Thank you so much, Harriet, for joining the meeting and sharing your story. Absolute pleasure. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Khalid, can we bring Bezat back on to just finish up with the donation stuff?
Hopefully Bezat should still be able to unmute his line. I haven't taken away his rights.
Yep, I'm here.
Bezat, assalamu alaikum again. Go for it.
Yeah, so I guess before we went to Imam Abdullah, we were talking about how much we've managed to raise this Ramadan. So the target we've reached is £38,000, taking into account all the different platforms that we're on, which is a fantastic effort, mashallah. The other thing I wanted to mention for people as well, so as you can see on the screen now, we've got the donation page for on the website. And Khalik, if I could just get you to click on the bank transfers tab. Yeah, so over here now, so if you notice there, we've also got the account name, which is the Al-Emaan Center. So what banks are now, or some banks are requiring people to do, is to put in the name, the sort code, and the account number. And then basically, if the name doesn't actually match the account that you're trying to transfer to, then it may reject the payment. So just something to remember when you're making a transfer, just to write in the name as it appears here on this website. And then the other key thing as well is just around the gift aid. So that's the tab on the bottom. If you could just click on that one. And then if you click on where it says click here, so basically if you are making a transfer via a bank account, if you could also please, or via PayPal, if you could go onto here as well and just complete your details and tick the gift aid box there so we can claim gift aid. And I guess the other thing to mention as well, so the £38,000 target that we've managed to reach, that doesn't take into account how much would actually the gift aid part of it. So if we were take that into account as well, then that obviously would be a lot more than £38,000, mashallah. And yeah, I guess just generally in terms of our fundraising, the other key thing is just the standing orders and the direct debits. So those are the things that sort of help the mosque on a daily basis to pay for its operating and ongoing costs and things like that. So please, if you have a standing order which is due to expire that you may have set up last Ramadan for 12 months, please go into your online banking or you can go onto the website and set up direct debit, as you can see on the screen there, through Go Cardless.
Yeah, did you want to explain a little bit about Go Cardless? And I mean, obviously, because we're coming up to the end of Ramadan now, so this is like the automatic direct debit that can be set up on a more long-term basis rather than the Jummah Connect, which was kind of a run for Jummah only. Do you want to just talk a little bit about the Go Cardless setup?
Yeah, sure. So basically what you could do through Go Cardless, so you can see on screen, you can set up a direct debit 30, 50 or £100 per month. So all you have to do is just click on any of those links and that will open up a separate page where you can fill in your details for a direct debit. So you can do it via that way, or what I find actually really easy these days is we've all got our smartphones, our iPhones. The easiest way to do it actually is to just log into your online banking through your phone and then go through and click on the direct debit or standing order, and you can actually set it up yourself. It's actually really simple and really straightforward. and that way there won't be any additional fees that go to to the actual payment provider, like Go Cardless in this case, and the money will just come directly to the masjid.
Yeah, I have to say that I prefer the standing order or bank transfer. It's direct bank to bank, and there's no middle person in between, and it's really, really clean and simple, secure. Or I use PayPal, again, similar sort of thing. I don't think if you're paying on PayPal, I don't think we get charged for that, do we?
PayPal does have a transaction fee as well.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a nice way to pay, but obviously, if you want to cut out the middleman, then either bank transfer or just set up a direct debit or a standing order through your own online banking.
And then the gift aid for that scenario, it just has to be filled out once, right?
Yes, so if you fill that out once, basically what you're signing up to is to pay your gift aid. Basically, you giving permission to the mosque to claim gift aid going forwards and also going back 4 years. So if you do that once, then that's sufficient.
Yeah, perfect. I think that's answered, I think, Suriya's question. I hope that has, Suriya. So I was just saying, if you sent a direct payment to the masjid, that being going to include gift aid. No, I think so. That, just to clarify, whatever you pay in, if you fill out the form for gift aid, that would allow the masjid to claim the 25% of whatever you give. So that would be an additional payment to us from the government, to the masjid from the government, on top of whatever you give, just for being a UK taxpayer. So mashallah, that's a lovely gift from the government. Actually, it's a great blessing for us.
Yeah.
And I think Matthew was just reminding everybody, for those of us who haven't paid their fitrana, please go ahead and do that. And just to clarify, Bez, we don't accept fitrana, or we don't accept payments for zakat either. So anyone who needs to pay that now needs to find an alternative, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So as a mosque, we don't accept the fitrana payment as well as the zakat payments. And I have noticed there have been a couple of small payments that have come through the bank account. So what we've done in those instances is we've separately made the zakat or fitrana donation to a chosen charity. But it's better if you don't pay it to us and you actually pay that directly to your charity of choice.
Yeah, and I think that's answered Manal's question as well, which is the same, about the gift aid. Yes, once you've made a payment, as long as you fill out the form once, that person can be regularly requested to have the gift aid paid for that regular payment. And for those of you guys who haven't set up a regular payment via standing order or direct debit, please do have a think about that. It's a fantastic way to give some regular charity and also help the masjid. For those of you who are on some of the groups or have got received the emails, there is also a breakdown of the expenses that or the costs that the masjid incurs. Bez, I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about that as well.
Just in terms of what's that, the operating costs?
Yeah, the operating cost spreadsheet that went out, the updated one. So just, where people can, if they choose to actually pick up a particular item, if they wanted to pay for that or have that awareness.
Yeah, you mean the card form?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So the card form went out as well. So basically, we have, I think it's approximately £500,000 of outstanding card, and basically that list details how much is due in terms of like the structural costs and things like that, and then the purchase of the building. So if you do want to make a donation specifically for card, please refer to that form. And there are, when you make the payment through a bank transfer, just mention that it's for the purpose of card, and then we can allocate it accordingly as well.
Jazakallah. Bez, so if there's anything else you wanted to add on top of that we may have, or I may have not mentioned, or you haven't mentioned?
I think that's it from my side. As I said, so it is the final few hours now of Ramadan, so please continue giving. May Allah accept it, inshallah. And then also, if anyone is willing to volunteer, please get in touch with the mosque. So at the moment, in terms of finances, there's a couple of people involved, but we're always looking for more people. So if you are an accountant or a budding accountant, please get in touch, and we can definitely use your help.
Or even just an assistant, Beza. I know you're in the market for an admin.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Whatever time you can give, and whatever you know, even if you're a fantastic student of maths and finance, and you'd love to get involved for the masjid, you know, please, please. Oh, I was saying as long as you can count, but but yeah, you know, what we're saying is that as you know, and actually in any of the areas, there's the tech area, there's the finance area, there's the operational area, you know, and there's so many other areas that you know, participants or volunteers or you know, members of the congregation can get involved with. What we're looking for is that consistency and you know, being able to give that time to make this you know, a place which is really the center of the community. So it's not just about the money, and I know you've been hearing quite a lot of requests about the donations, but actually it is time, and it's actually just coming in and worshipping as well. You know, once the doors open, consistently making that effort to become part of the community. All the successful community or successful extracurricular activity-based setups are all from the commitment from the people who use them, and it's that commitment that we need, realizing that we all have one thing in common, and that is the belief of the oneness of Allah and the acceptance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that brings us
So
together.
I think we've got a younger guest on the line. So sorry to interrupt, Khalik, but
No worries.
who have we got here?
Isra.
Isra, and how old are you, Isra?
I'm 8 years old.
8 years old. And how's your Ramadan?
It was really good, thank you. I did 5 half fasts from lunch, and normally for Iftar we would have had dates, hummus and pitta, grapes, and sometimes for a treat, halloumi, cheese and samosas.
Wow, that's
amazing.
an amazing spread. So half fast. So what time did you fast from?
Probably 3 o'clock.
Okay, right. I think that's just after your trampoline session. So that's a great.
Wow, so proud of
well.
you, mashallah.
So maybe inshallah next year you can do a full fast. Let's see. Okay.
Yes.
Mashallah, that's fantastic. Really, really proud to hear that. Well done.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Very cute.
So
Okay.
cute. Fantastic, mashallah. It's fantastic to hear from the, you know, the youngsters. It's really, really good. There's one more comment actually on the Q&A. I was thinking maybe it would be good if you read it out actually, Amr.
You know I'm not good at this. Hold on. Oh, the Q&A, not the chat. The chat.
No, the Q&A.
Oh, okay. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. I'd like to congratulate you all for such amazing work this Ramadan from you all. You have all passed on valuable knowledge to us. Allah bless you all and accept all your efforts. Ameen. Please make dua formally for my family, especially my children and their children, that Allah gives us all, you all, and everyone listening, complete health and success in this world and hereafter. Ameen.
Ameen.
I've enjoyed and learned from every program I've tuned into. Jazakallah khair, Sajda Irshad. Wow, what an amazing message. Thank you, Jazakallah khair, so much.
And I was just going to plug, that's my elder sister, by the way.
I thought there might be some bias there, but
no, genuinely, she's loved every moment of it.
I'm hoping that sentiment is resonates with everyone. But if not, please give us some constructive criticism. As I said on the invite, we really want to know and hear from what people would like us to do, what we could do better, and what you would like us to do going forward. I know we've discussed perhaps maintaining some of the momentum we've picked up from the talks and continue to do that. But with regards sort of opening the masjid up, that still remains with the powers that be. So we shall see. But do let us know. I think
absolutely. In fact, there's quite a lot of people on today. You know, maybe we should put out that request to ask a few more people to come in and you know, air their views, give us some feedback.
Sure. I think Avais wanted to speak. Khalik,
Okay,
can you unmute?
Well, Awais is he's the main man. He's a manager. He's the leader of the group.
I wasn't sure if it was Avais or Ibrahim speaking.
It's Matur. His daughter wants to say something, but I think she just got a little shy.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to let him talk. So when she's not shy as much, Matthew can unmute now. So he should be able to to speak. But welcome, Awais. Give us some feedback as the leader of the pack, mashallah.
The
main man.
I would say not as far as leader of the pack. I would, but my son's with me and he's making a lot of noise. But alhamdulillah, it's been a great experience. And I think I said it in one of the previous recitation where we were allowed to talk, that having this digital channel was a conversation we had 2 years ago, and alhamdulillah, it's great that we've managed to do this. Obviously, COVID's been great marketing for us to get this off the ground, and it has been a roaring success with the number of people who viewed things and shared things, and the number of likes we've got, and the number of now subscribers we have on the YouTube channel. Alhamdulillah, it's been fantastic. And I think it's not something we want to now stop. We want to keep focusing on this, especially when the masjid closed. And even when the masjid is closed, we want to bring that digital element into how we do the different events we do as well. So one of the most important things we want from all of you as well is ideas. So any ideas you may have, as in share it now or email us on our Al-Emaan channels and let us know, because we're always looking for ideas. We're always looking to bring opportunities for people to get involved. And if it's not something you want to volunteer in at this point, but something you want to push and get yourself involved in, then please just come forward and tell us, and we're happy to try and make it work.
Inshallah, inshallah. I mean, I got to say, this sort of Ramadan radio gig is a much better one than doing the parking duty.
Yeah, definitely, and warmer as well.
Exactly. No, Jazakallah khair, Sheikh Awais. Got so used to saying Sheikh.
MashaAllah, that's the first time anyone's referred to me as Sheikh.
So, Khalik, is Matthew still on the line? Do you want to open him up anyway? We haven't heard from Matthew.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So what I've done actually is I've allowed everyone who's on right now to have the ability to talk.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Amar, Khalik, everybody. It's Matthew here.
Hi, welcome, Aslam. How you doing?
Where have you been? Come on.
Oh man, I'm stuck in Penge, man. But I'm missing you all, but sending you all virtual hugs in advance of Eid. Alhamdulillah. You guys have done a fantastic job over this Ramadan, turning this crisis of a pandemic into an opportunity to reach out to all of us and bringing all this fantastic speakers and Sheikh Mudaffar to our homes, and mashallah, it's been really beneficial. And the fact that we learned so much from this experience, it really does stand us in good stead as a community to just drive this forward and really take it to another level, inshallah.
How do you see the whole social media side, Matthew? I mean, I had my reservations, but to be honest, I'm sort of been won over by this whole sort of connectivity thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a powerful amplifier for things that we should be doing anyway. Certainly, there's a lot of competition online in the online space now. So you have a lot of the big American imams, for example, who have massive reach, like Sheikh Yasir Qadi and Al-Emaan, but doing fantastic things. But at a local level, there's no substitute for being connected to your mosque in this sort of environment than through something like this. And that's what you've managed to achieve, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And for those of you, as Matthew mentioned, those of you who have perhaps not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that and have a look at the recordings. I mean, I've been listening to the Speaker's Corner talk sort of once or twice after the actual session, because whilst we're hosting, we don't always have a full concentration on what's being said because of all technical things that are happening around the side. So having heard them again, I'm completely blown away. Even yesterday, Vikas was mind blowing, really. So please do have another listen of those. Matthew, thanks so much for joining us. Is your daughter still a bit shy?
Yeah, she's gone back to watching a bit of TV. She's mashallah, she's 7 years old, and I think this is her 10th full fast today. So yeah, she's amazing, mashallah.
Mashallah.
What are you on? 2 ways. It for me.
I think we've got a few more people who are wanting to talk. I'm not sure if they are.
Okay, come Matthew, I'll catch up soon.
Thanks a lot, Mattia. We've got Sister Asma Siddiqui. I think it's Nahid who looking to speak. So please feel free to join in the conversation. Sister Asma or Sister Nahid. And I don't know who S is.
Khalik, I'm not sure if their mics are just open anyway.
Okay, maybe. Shall I just mute them again? And let me just mute them.
I think perhaps, yes.
Yeah, okay.
To be honest, I mean, we're pretty much coming to a close. It's actually gone on much longer than I expected, but
yeah,
alhamdulillah, we had a lot of engagement there. Lovely to hear from Sister Harriet, our own Imam Abdullah, Bezat and Mattior on the finance team, and little Isra there just chipping in with her half fasts. So thank you everyone for joining. It's been quite a successful little meeting, and certainly encouragement for us going forward. We're sort of using this as a test bed really for whether we might continue this kind of format on a fortnightly or monthly basis as
definitely. Amir shakes breaks.
About Amr and Khalid's shakes breaks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had shakeaways on today, right? So we covered that bit.
Yeah, we can share out the shake duties. But
absolutely.
Anyway, so I think Khalid, if you.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It's been really great listening to you. I'm just in my car, just doing a few deliveries. Alhamdulillah, I had a nice friend of mine who had given some really brand new kurta and tops. So I'm just literally going around a few families, Syrian families, just dropping them off.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
What
a great way to enter the conversation, Asma. Please, while you're there, can you just give us some backstory on the work you do with the Syrian refugees?
Yeah, mashallah, I've been helping. There's a lady called Fawzia Rizvi. Initially, I used to just help her sort of collect stuff from people or from my own house and give her things. She used to come just pick up the stuff. And then I used to really think that Bichari, she's all on her own. And in my mind and behind, I used to think, oh my God, I should, be sort of helping her in some way. But at that time, it didn't occur to me, but that was I just used to do, just collect stuff from people and ask people for things. And then slowly, mashallah, when she kept on telling the 2 families, 4 families, the family started getting more and more. Then I got a bit more involved, and I started helping her out in doing the deliveries, going to the families. And just recently, just before the lockdown, I had started actually going and meeting the ladies and speaking to them and just generally giving them a bit of, sort of friendship in a way, because that's what they need the most, because they're very isolated and they're not very good in English. So they need help in that. So alhamdulillah, no, it's really been great. And I've done now, mashallah, quite a lot of deliveries, and with the food deliveries as well, often I've done just giving all the families different foods and stuff. So now, yeah, just my friend just gave it to me, and I said, yeah, give it to me. Why not? Then I don't know if they've got the Eid clothes or not. If they've got it, well and good. But if not, then it'll really be nice for them to wear something brand new. And all the clothes are brand new. They're all tagged. That's the best thing. They're not sort of used either.
MashaAllah, mashallah. That's an amazing.
Quickly, before, I was supposed to do it yesterday, but then I just couldn't get around to it. But I said I better just like I was thinking, chalo koi baat nahi, I'll do it after, and leave it after Eid. But I think hopefully if it can bring a smile on anyone's face and have a new clothes on Eid, that'll be great. So
that's such a wonderful initiative, mashallah.
And these refugees are based in Lewisham. I know we've worked together with the
they're different actually. They're quite spread out. They're Lewisham, Eltham, Greenwich. So they're a bit spread out. And mashallah, up till now, I only thought we had about 15 to 20 families, but I think we've got nearly now 30 families. And some are well off, not well off, some are better off than others, but some are sort of like widows with some children who haven't got husbands, or some sort of disabled children, or the husband's disabled because he's been injured in Syria. So I've been just trying to sort of be with Fawzia, trying to help out the more vulnerable, basically. So inshallah, let's see. We're just keeping it continuing, and lots of people other are helping. There's Zarmina who's helping out a lot. Afira's there as well, and we've got all the ladies who, whenever we say that we need some money, just chip in. Everyone just chips in 10, 20, this, that, whatever, and then we always sort of get around doing and picking up stuff. So mashallah,
What-
the Bromley community ladies are lovely.
How do the sisters
Alhamdulillah.
get involved, or the brothers get involved? If they need, if you need any more help, I mean, how do they get involved?
I think anyone can just get involved. Maybe the best thing would be to liaise with Fawzia Razvi, if anyone puts her number there, because she's the one. One thing they do really need is people who are, if people can speak in Arabic, because that is one thing that some of them don't really speak well, and then she's the only person who can sort of speak to them. So if there are people around on this in the community who can speak Arabic, that would be great, because that they can help out.
Can I just clarify, Asma, that this is this independent of the Bromley Three Faiths group work? Is this sort of more?
It's sort of interlinked, because Fawzia Razvi, I do things with her separately, but I do also things with her having the Three Faith Forum involved. So we have, like, recently the Three Faith Forum gave us £400. So then we had ordered food processors for all the families, and also food donations like oil and sugar and all this sort of stuff. So that
And
was
how
the help
many families do you guys help?
we've been helping about 15 to 20 now, mashallah. But I think she was saying there are more even coming, and some which I wasn't aware of. So they recently, recently I also got a nice phone call from, we've got a Muslim dry cleaner, and he's got a cousin. So he gave his number to me, and then he was asking me, and mashallah, he also has now dropped off quite a lot of food parcels to many different families. So that was good. And we've done it with Zarmina, Afira, Fawzi, all of us got together, and Rehana's also there. We all got together, and we've taken, like, Zarmina done the whole food bulk shopping online with meat, chicken and stuff. And then we're about 4 or 5 different people with our boys and everyone just delivering them. So we delivered them about, I think, a week ago, just before Eid, so that they would all have the essentials. So alhamdulillah,
That's amazing, mashallah. I think that's such a fantastic initiative, and I think it would be fantastic for everybody, you know, if more of us can get involved, so that, you know, we can lighten the load on the volunteers as well. I think maybe that's we'd have to have you on for a full-blown session, I think, to discuss.
All, mashallah, everyone's doing their part, but yeah, maybe I'm just a bit more maybe linked with Fawzia, so I've just been just a bit more in, like, the others are in the background, but I'm just a bit more sort of going and physically helping. But yeah, we started it initially, but unfortunately because of the lockdown, me, Fawzia, Zarmina, Fira, we all started going to the families and visiting them. So yeah. And also one thing is, we recently, Alina, my daughter's just started helping one of the children online with his English and maths, so that's really helped. So I think that could be an initiative for all our youngsters, the
That's a
young
really good idea.
teenagers, that they could take the numbers and sort of just to help them out on through Skype or FaceTime or whatever, Zoom, and help them out with their studies, and that would really help them.
I think that's the key when it comes to refugees. It's short-term relief is great, right? Because that's what we do when we give money or we give. It's about kind of giving longevity and livelihood. And if we can make that happen, that's when you're really making the change. And I think that's definitely something we should look into.
And alhamdulillah, it's only been about, I think, 2-3 weeks Alina started. And she just does about an hour nearly every day or every other day, depending on the child's mood as well. And he has really improved in English and his study. So his mum's really sort of happy with that. So that's good.
Jazakallah for joining. A real pleasure to hear your current activities, and mashallah for doing the deliveries today and for all the work you've done previously. We've just had a message actually from a participant who wants me to pass on your email, so I've got a copy of that. I'll post it to you later, inshallah.
Yeah, and I think we've got Omar on the line now, and hopefully we can get Omar to speak to us for very briefly. I know he's been busy with the children. But if without further ado, I think, Omar, are you there?
Yes,
Walaikum salam, Omar.
That's me and Lana here that you can hear. Just wanted to say, mashallah, huge thank you, and just blown away by it all, really. I don't know about you guys, but I know myself, I'm on a base. We've been speaking about going online, and reaching out digitally for a couple of years now.
Well, I think it's a bit more than that, Umar. I've been speaking about a radio station, a mixing desk.
You've been talking about, you're talking about a lot of things, Amr, to be honest, but it's great. But that's what we need. That's what we need. You know, these start with ideas, don't they? And alhamdulillah, we were kind of, our hand was forced in a way to do this, and what a blessing it's been. Amazing, amazing. Really just taken aback by this Ramadan and what the future holds. So I think if there's just one message to say, it's a big thank you, but also if anyone else is out there, whatever you can do to get involved, please reach out. We're looking for people. We can only do this through the support of every volunteer here. So please reach out, whatever it is you can do. You know, we're looking for hands.
Even if it means that you don't have to listen to me and Khalik every day.
I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a bonus actually. Croaky Khalik is probably the thing that's putting everyone off.
I could do this all night. Radio station. But no, there's something that everyone has to offer. Really believe that.
MashaAllah.
So, you know, please, whatever it is that you can do, reach out.
And Umar, just while you're there, can you just briefly go over, sorry, one last admin thing, the arrangements for tomorrow, inshallah?
So the plan for tomorrow is to hold an Eid reminder and a sort of community gathering online. So the idea is we'll log in at 10:30. So feel free to join then. To send salams and greetings to one another. At 10:50, we'll then have the takbirat. So we'll be saying the praise of Allah, which normally we'd be doing in the mosque, leading up to the khutbah. We'll do it online. And then have the reminder from Imam Abdullah, and then leave it open for everyone to give their salams and greetings once again. And we'll probably close, I guess, at around 12, depending on how long things go on.
Lovely, that's amazing, Omar. And just another thing is this: you're going to send out a meeting ID at some point today, right?
It's been sent.
Oh, it has been sent. Okay, perfect. Okay, so people should have that.
And while we're on that topic, if anyone is up for doing some email admin for the mosque. Been crying out for one for ages, but honestly, no. If anyone's up for it, or you know someone who could be interested,
you're in the queue. You got to get in the queue. Umar Bezat's already put a word out for his.
Man. Not too late.
Don't worry. We're inshallah. There's been a lot of dua, mashallah, throughout the whole of Ramadan. All of your prayers are going to be answered, inshallah, and we're going to have lots and lots of volunteers, lots and lots of people helping finance and admin and all with everything, inshallah. I'm optimistic.
Assalamualaikum.
Welcome, salam.
This is Khalik's big sister, Sajida.
Oh my God, she's here to embarrass me, I'm sure.
Go for it. If you're here to embarrass Khalik, the line is all yours.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I will take this opportunity just to personally say, guys, brothers, I should say, you've done an amazing job. And, you know, in this time where we can't even be together, this has actually given us a feeling of togetherness, because knowing that all of my family, mine colleagues and all of our siblings were listening into this, it's kind of given us that feeling that we're together, you know, at iftar time. And I have to say the duas that you the little children did, you know, that was such a amazing thing, you know, to make them have that opportunity to do that, to build their confidence. It was so lovely, and really it's been so nice. And I just hope, you know, you just said that maybe you would do this like every fortnightly. I would definitely tune into it. It's been sometimes been a little bit difficult at the 10 o'clock slots. Obviously because it's like just after iftar, and us women, we're always in the kitchen cleaning and whatnot. But you know, it's been really, really, really nice having this. And Khalif, you've done an amazing job. And
you know, it's been everyone, not me. It's all these guys. These guys are doing things. I've just been here in the background. I'm learning from these guys.
You know what? If I can help in any way, I would love to, like the admin or whatever. Obviously, you'd have to sort of show me the ropes a little bit, but if I can help in any way, for a short time even, I would be happy to do so.
Where are you based, sister?
I'm based in Ilford. I'm based in East London, Ilford.
Okay,
technology, man.
The term starts Monday. Sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she's a teacher, by the way, right? Business studies and English and primary and secondary and special needs. So I think she's qualified for it.
Bank holiday on Monday, so you're free.
We've got 5 years of backlog here, so can we just send it over to you?
Oh my God.
We're sending the UPS truck now.
What have I put myself into? But you know what? Even for a short time, if I can help, you know, I would feel that I've been part of this amazing reward that you guys have all got yourself, you know. I would feel really humbled if I can help in any way.
Be careful what you wish for.
And listen, guys, if I can't do it or if it's too much for me, I'll just tell you straight up.
She's very straight. She's one of those straightforward teachers, I have to admit. But I'm going to stop talking now before I get into even more trouble.
Okay. No. In fact, stop talking. Stop talking is right, because Iftar is fast approaching. So, Omar, while you're still on the line, please, could you make a dua to close the meeting before we all get in real trouble. So, Jazakallah to everyone for joining. It's been an amazing evening. Thanks for joining. And hopefully, inshallah, we can do this again. But I think it's time to wrap up now. So, Omar, can you do the honors, please?
Omar, are you there?
I think Lana's got Umar in a headlock. Maybe Isra can finish us with a dua.
Absolutely, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
So guys, just an FYI, so the next couple of weeks, there will be a survey going out just to get everyone's feedback from the community on how things went and things that we could do better and other things that we can take on board. So please look out for that in the emails, and inshallah, it'd be great to get everyone to respond to that.
Okay, inshallah. So Isra's here, we're ready to go. So just give me 2 secs.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Oh Allah, please bless everyone in the world that ever lived, especially the Muslims. Oh Allah, please bless their mums and dads, and please bless our mums and dads, and please bless their mums and dads. Oh Allah, please bless those that don't even have mums and dads. Oh Allah, please help the sick people to be healthy again. Oh Allah, please help the poor people who don't have anything to eat or anywhere to live. Oh Allah, please rescue all the Muslims that are frightened because of the horrible people that are being mean to them. Oh Allah, please bless all the animals and all the little creatures. Oh Allah, we thank you for the fresh air that we breathe, the nice food that we eat, and the clean water that we drink. Oh Allah, please blow coronavirus away from the earth and help our schools open again soon, inshallah. Oh Allah, we know you love us, but help us to love you back. ربنا آتينا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Ameen.
Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Yep, that's such a beautiful dua, mashallah. So proud to hear that. It's just, really, really heartwarming. Jazakallah khair, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and all your family. Ameen.
Ameen. I think that's a wrap. So
well, you're going to keep talking for about another 2 minutes because I want to play another video before we close. So you're going to talk for another 2 minutes. I'm just downloading it. There's one just come hot off this press, so it's downloading at the moment.
I didn't realize we had another one. Did you manage to grab it?
I'm just grabbing it now, so I'll let you talk for another 2 minutes while I set up. Yeah, so I'm just going to download it. whilst you carry on talking. So I think you're going to give another reminder about the fact that it's the last night of Ramadan and we've got a few minutes before Iftar. So you're going to plug for that. And also you're going to repeat what was said about tomorrow's plans, inshallah.
Okay, I think you just said all that.
Yeah, but please repeat it while I'm downloading.
Hold on, I think we might have a lastminute.com interview whilst you're getting that grab of the video. So, Sophie, did you want to say, you seem out of breath?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I just legged it. I wasn't going to say anything, but
Well, it's lovely to have you.
oh, bless you. You know, mashallah, this has been amazing. I'm going to be very quick. May Allah accept everyone's ibadah, how, you know, whether they've joined us or not, and the whole ummah, inshallah. But very quickly, sentiments, completely agree with everything everybody said. You know, we've ended Ramadan this year because aided by this online platform on a real spiritual high. And it takes, you know, everyone's so passionate about their faith and how so much, they feel so much, but we just love to have more people reaching out, I think. Children, you know, ladies, mums, just come out. We want to hear your voices. We want the kids to get involved. I've been helping run a kids club and we just see new people joining all the time. So I think what I'm trying to say is this is a community-wide venture, and maybe, you know, like Kalik, your sisters, you know, tuned in from Ilford. This doesn't have to be our community in Bromley, you know, through the online platform, your voices are being heard far and wide. And inshallah, you know, through learning platforms and through people ringing in and getting involved and joining in, be it through this radio show or in any way, I think it's so important. So Jazakallah khair for everyone's efforts, and I just wanted to say a few words. Allah,
we're very glad to hear it, mashallah. Glad you joined us.
All your rewards.
Ameen, ameen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Ameen, ya bro. I mean, that's amazing. I'm glad we had that last minute entry for a guest. What a fantastic guest. And there's just one thing you're not allowed to say ever again, and that is call her sister Sophie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was my social faux pas for the month of Ramadan.
Right, so I've got the video ready now, alhamdulillah. So this is literally hot off the press. I've just downloaded it for everybody to see, and mashallah, we've got a great audience, and it's almost time for Iftar, and I'm going to get into trouble because I'm not going to be able to go and get shopping for tomorrow. So I'm going to play it.
Run VT, man.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Asma Siddiqui. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I've really been inspired by everybody's videos regarding Al-Emaan Center, and just wanted to share a few of my own personal experiences and things that have kept me involved with Al-Emaan. We've been in Chisla since 2002 and always longed to have a masjid, but unfortunately could not do that. And so alhamdulillah, when Al-Emaan Center, when the church was bought and Al-Emaan Center was formed, we've all really been really excited, and alhamdulillah, it's brought a lot to the community. Some of the things I've been involved with have, apart from prayers and Jummah and Taraweeh, have been with lots of talks, ladies' talk circles, learned a lot about Islam, met lovely people, made new friendships. And we've also I've been involved with the Three Faith Forum, just like Sophie and others. So that has brought a lot to spreading Islam and learning more about other people's religions. And we've had iftars and inspiring talks in the masjid. Also, I've been involved with the food bank. That was a different, new experience. And alhamdulillah, I've learned a lot. But the most recent thing I was involved with was schools, young children coming from different schools to learn about Islam. And I think that has really helped me in my confidence as well. And I really enjoyed telling them all what I know about Islam. So it's been a wonderful experience. I've had lovely people, lots of the community people. And I think, what more can I say? Islam is a beautiful religion. And now it's the end of Ramadan. So I would really urge everybody to also continue helping Al-Emaan in every way they can, supporting them, helping them. And especially if we could all set up direct debits, that would be great. As Ramadan is finishing, we need to continue the funds. So we all need everybody to set up direct debits, and that would be great, inshallah. I hope this has been beneficial for you all, and Allah always bestows His mercy and blessings on those who have the religion. Inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam. Islam.
Mashallah, and another lovely story from Al-Emaan. It was so nice to have her live on the line. Actually, I didn't realise that she'd done a story that had just been published. So, wow, I really don't think this session could have gone any better.
I agree.
We managed to get Umar on the line, Bezat, Sophie, the whole crew, and special thanks to Harriet for coming on as well, because I know she had to rush back just to get on. So jazakallah to everyone, completely amazing.
Fantastic. I really enjoyed every moment of it. It's been great, and it's been great having you on as well. And I hope you enjoyed talking to me in between.
Yeah, as always, Khalid, as always, online, offline, all lines.
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
No, but in all seriousness, I'm going to get in serious trouble in a minute. So it's almost 8 o'clock. Last message from me: if you haven't played your Zakatul Fitr, please do it now. I'm currently online trying to do it, and said that for the last 3 days. But from me, we'll end the evening on that note. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Khalik.
Just assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Please remember me in your prayers, remember my family in your prayers, and remember the community and this wonderful masjid that we're all participating and involved with in your prayers. And inshallah, we'll see you guys for the iftar dua and adhan in just probably under an hour now, I think it is. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.